Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. In today's video we are talking about another beautiful succulent that belongs to the genus of Echeveria. Now this is called as Echeveria Zesta. Now if you're going to look at this succulent, it looks pretty ordinary, nothing much great about it, just like any other Echeveria. But the best part about this succulent is the color. Now my succulent has reverted to green, one because it's summer, they are getting into their growing period. Another reason is because it's getting pretty warm and the soil is drying much faster, due to which the frequency of my watering has increased. Now because of this reason, the succulents are losing their stress colors again, which is absolutely fine. When they're getting into their growing period, you do not want to mess around with it. But there is a little bit of color that is still left on this succulent, so let me quickly tilt the succulent and show it to you. I will put the picture as well so that you can get a fair idea. If you're not getting the correct color, you can also Google the image. You will be able to see the color of this succulent. Now this succulent is extremely beautiful color. It gets this very maroon reddish color. I'll put the picture on the screen. You will be able to see the entire succulent starts to turn maroon reddish in color. Looks absolutely beautiful. So because I have increased the frequency of watering, the succulent is reverting back to green color. Absolutely okay. Once the winters kick in, it will start getting stressed. It will start getting color because it's going to turn dormant. So with this, you will understand that Echeveria tends to go dormant during the winters. Summer is its growing period. Now the pest attacks is not much of an issue. I haven't seen any pest attack. Now I'm not very sure if this is a pup or a bloom. Mostly it could be a bloom because it's very close to the crown area. Usually the pups start growing either lower on the lower portion of the succulent, or at times in some varieties like Echeveria prolifica, they tend to put out offsets and pups everywhere. But I have to still wait for some time. Most probably this would be a bloom stalk, but I'm going to wait. I won't separate it. There's another one coming up over here. This indicates that they are getting into their growing period. So I'm very happy about it that finally they are getting into the growing period, which means that the succulents are going to grow a little bit faster compared to what they usually do around the year. Talking about propagation, it's pretty simple. You can separate the offsets. I did separate a few offsets. I've just kept them to air root. When that happens, I will definitely keep you guys updated. So you can do a leaf propagation. Stem cutting is also possible because you can see there is a very tiny little stem which can be cut off, and you can do a stem cutting. You can do a beheading. You can separate the offsets once they reach a decent size. You can do a leaf propagation. Right now it's summers, it's their growing period. If you're going to do leaf propagation of Echeverias, they are going to grow slightly faster compared to what it can do during the winter period, which is their dormant period. Watering, again, the basic care requirements, I'm putting it in level easy because it's pretty easy to take care of this succulent, provided that you give the basic care requirements, which is the soil. It has to be loose, porous and well draining. Ensure that you do not add a lot of organic matter. It's always better to go with a liquid based fertilizer. If you do not add fertilizers, it's absolutely fine. But if you want to add some fertilizers, you can go with liquid based fertilizer during the summer months, probably once a month or once in 2 months. Do not add too much of nutrients. It's going to make your Echeveria weak. Talking about the light requirements, it requires a good amount of light, preferably morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours to maintain the color. Otherwise you can even grow it in indirect bright light. Now the reason why I thought I'm going to talk a little bit more about this is because a lot of people want to buy succulents because of the color. Now if you are a person who only receives indirect bright light or afternoon direct sunlight, now if you receive afternoon direct sunlight, you have to use a shade cloth, which means you are going to give filtered light. Now in filtered light as well, succulents do get their color depending upon how much of filtration you are using. But if you only receive indirect bright light, unfortunately you are not going to get those intense colors. Those colors can only be possible with morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Being said that, that does not mean that if you're going to keep your succulents in indirect bright light, they will not do well. They love indirect bright light. The only thing is that the colors will be missing. Even if you're going to water less, the colors will come, but it's going to be very minimum as compared to morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. So I don't want you guys to be disappointed, because I know you purchase succulents because of the color, but if you receive indirect bright light, if you're going to purchase a succulent and keep it in indirect bright light, then I'm sorry, the colors are not going to be very intense. So this is something that I wanted to share about this, because a lot of people say that the succulents are not getting color. one is because they are keeping it in indirect bright light. Apart from that, watering, you have to water only when the soil is completely bone dry. Remember, it belongs to the Echeveria variety. They do not like to be sitting in moist soil for a very long time. If your soil stays moist for a day or so, it's absolutely fine. That is enough time for the succulent to have a quick drink. Remember, succulents, as soon as the water touches the soil, the succulent starts absorbing the water, because in their natural habitat they do not have a lot of water, they do not have the luxury of water. So the roots usually are on the upper surface of the soil. As soon as the water droplets hit the soil, they get into action and they start absorbing the water. So that is the reason why do not water your succulents too much. Their roots are right above, they will absorb the water quickly. And the issue with succulents is they do not know when to stop drinking, so they are going to drink water till their death. So that's all about it. If you are a beginner, if you get a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, or if you're growing them indoors with a good quality of grow light, you can keep them under grow light. They will get that beautiful color. But if you get indirect bright light, the colors will be present but not very intense. This is the reason why I'm putting it in level easy, because it's a pretty easy to grow succulent. If you are a beginner or if you're just starting off with succulents, you can definitely add the succulent in your collection. So that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.